The safe stared back at me, cold and unmoving, just as it had for the past 3 weeks since David's funeral, a sleek, black monument to all the secrets my husband of 25 years had kept from me. Mrs. Chen. The building maintenance man shifted uncomfortably behind me. Would you like me to call a locksmith again? I shook my head, running my fingers over the keypad. No, thank you, Pete. I'll figure it out. He hesitated. The new tenants are scheduled to move in next week. I know. My voice was sharper than I intended. I'll have everything cleared out by then. After he left, I sank into David's leather chair, inhaling the lingering scent of his cologne. The office looked strange, half-packed, his degrees already wrapped in bubble wrap, his desktop computer dismantled. Only his photographs remained. Me, our daughter Sarah's graduation, our 20th anniversary in Paris. All moments I thought I understood. All memories I now questioned. The heart attack had been sudden, they said. David collapsed right here, at his desk, during one of his regular Thursday late nights. By the time the cleaning crew found him, it was too late. I'd accepted it at first. David was always stressed, always working hard to provide for us. But then came the mysterious condolence cards from people I'd never heard of. The strange phone calls that stopped mid-ring when I answered. And finally, this safe. A safe I'd never known existed until Pete mentioned it during the office clearance. Your husband had it installed 15 years ago, he'd said. Custom job. Very high-end. 15 years. Around the time David started working late every Thursday. I tried another combination. 07 to 1589, our wedding date. Nothing. 11 to 0396, Sarah's birthday. The safe remained closed. My phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. Any luck with the safe? Not yet, I replied. Still trying. Mom, maybe we should just leave it. Dad obviously didn't want it opened. But that was exactly why I needed to open it. David and I had promised no secrets when we married. What had been important enough to break that promise? I looked at the photo of us in Paris again. David's smile seemed different now, strained around the edges, his eyes not quite meeting the camera. Had I been so busy being the perfect wife that I'd missed the signs? The next combination came from a darker place. 02 to 2420, the date of his death. The safe clicked. My hands trembled as I pulled the heavy door open. Inside, neatly organized, lay the answers to 25 years of Thursday nights. The first folder contained photographs, hundreds of them. But not the kind I expected. Not evidence of another family or secret vacations. These were surveillance photos, each meticulously dated and annotated in David's precise handwriting. Men in expensive suits making exchanges in dark alleys. License plates carefully documented, location coordinates written in the margins. The second folder held newspaper clippings spanning 2 decades. Stories about corporate fraud, money laundering, human trafficking, all connected to the Chen Industrial Group, my father-in-law's company. My father-in-law, who had died in a boating accident 10 years ago. The third folder made my blood run cold. Police reports, witness statements, DNA evidence, all pointing to the Chen family's involvement in dozens of crimes. All carefully gathered and documented by David. My husband, the loyal VP of Finance at Chen Industrial Group, had been building a case against his own family for 15 years. At the bottom of the safe lay a sealed envelope with my name on it. Inside was a letter, dated 1 week before his death. My dearest June, if you're reading this, something has happened to me. I pray it wasn't suspicious, but knowing my family, I can't be sure. I'm sorry for the secrets. Every Thursday night for 15 years, I've been working with the FBI, gathering evidence against the family business. The corruption goes deeper than anyone knows. Human trafficking, money laundering, murder, all hidden behind legitimate business fronts. I discovered it by accident 15 years ago. Numbers that didn't add up, shipments that disappeared, employees who vanished without a trace. When I realized what was happening, I had 3 choices: join them, expose them, or pretend ignorance. I chose to fight, but quietly. The FBI helped me build a case while maintaining my cover. It wasn't easy. Every family dinner, every board meeting, every holiday, I had to smile and pretend while documenting their crimes. I couldn't tell you. They watch everyone, especially family. Your ignorance was your protection. If they ever suspected you knew, you and Sarah would have been in danger. But now you need to know the truth. In the false bottom of this safe, tap the right corner 3 times. You'll find a hard drive. It contains everything, all the evidence, all the connections, everything the FBI needs to bring down the entire organization. I'm sorry for lying to you all these years. Sorry for the Thursday nights you spent alone. Sorry for making you doubt our marriage. But I'm not sorry for fighting against what my family has done. If something happens to me, take the hard drive to FBI Special Agent Marcus Torres. His contact details are enclosed. He'll know what to do. I love you. I've always loved you, even when I couldn't show it properly. Everything I did was to protect you and Sarah. Please forgive me. David. I read the letter 3 times, my vision blurring with tears. Then I tapped the right corner of the safe 3 times. The false bottom popped open, revealing a small hard drive. My phone buzzed again. Another text from Sarah. Mom, everything okay? I stared at the phone, at my daughter's smiling profile picture. She looked so much like David, the same determined set of her jaw, the same analytical gleam in her eyes. How much of her grandfather's legacy had nearly tainted her life? Everything's fine, I texted back. Just found some old photos. The lie came easily, like father, like wife. I gathered everything from the safe, placing it carefully in my briefcase. The office suddenly felt different, not just a place of business, but a battleground where my husband had waged a secret war for 15 years. The photographs on the wall took on new meaning. Each smile, each posed moment. David had been protecting us even then, building memories to shield us from his dangerous truth. A knock at the door made me jump. Mrs. Chen. A man in an expensive suit stood in the doorway. I'm James Chen, your late husband's cousin. The family sent me to help with any sensitive materials David might have left behind. My heart raced. David's letter flashed through my mind. They watch everyone. I smiled, channeling 25 years of being the perfect Chen wife. That's very thoughtful, but I'm almost finished here. Just some old photos and documents. James stepped into the office, his eyes scanning the room, the safe. Empty, I lied smoothly. Just some tax records we already had copies of at home. He nodded, but his eyes lingered on my briefcase. If you find anything concerning the family, would appreciate being notified first. For David's reputation, of course. Of course. I stood gripping my briefcase. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lunch date with Sarah. James stepped aside, his smile not reaching his eyes. Please leave her our best. The family misses seeing you both at Sunday dinners. I walked out of the office, past the maintenance man, through the lobby. Every step felt watched, every movement monitored. Had David felt this way for 15 years? In my car, I pulled out my phone and the contact details from David's letter. The number for FBI Special Agent Torres gleamed on the card. Another text from Sarah. Coming over for dinner tonight? I looked at the hard drive in my briefcase, thinking of all the evidence it contained. Evidence that could destroy the Chen family, Sarah's paternal relatives, the empire her grandfather had built. Evidence David had died protecting. Yes, I texted back. We need to talk. The FBI agent's card felt heavy in my hand. One call would set in motion everything David had worked for. One call would change our lives forever. My husband had carried this burden alone for 15 years. He didn't have to die alone too. I dialed the number. Agent Torres, my name is Jun Chen. My husband David left something for you. In my rearview mirror, I saw James Chen exit the building, phone to his ear. The game wasn't over. Perhaps it was just beginning. But this time, David's secrets weren't just his to carry. This time, I would finish what he started. Agent Torres' office was nothing like I imagined. No dark, dramatic room with surveillance screens, just a cramped space with filing cabinets and a desk drowning in paperwork. The man himself was equally unassuming, mid-50s, with reading glasses and a coffee-stained tie. David talked about you, he said, examining the hard drive. He was proud of how smart you are. Said if anything happened to him, you figure it out. 15 years, I whispered. He worked with you for 15 years, and I never knew. Torres nodded. He was one of our best informants. Methodical, patient, careful. The information he gathered, it goes beyond the Chen family. Corporate executives, politicians, judges, all connected to your father-in-law's operation. My phone buzzed. James Chen again. Family dinner this Sunday. We insist. Torres saw the message. They're watching. After David's death, they'll be suspicious of any changes in routine. What do I do? Go to dinner. Act normal. We'll have a team monitoring. He hesitated. But Mrs. Chen, you need to understand. What's on this drive? It's enough to bring down not just the Chen family, but dozens of powerful people. People who've killed for less. I thought of David alone in his office, carefully documenting everything while pretending loyalty at family gatherings. How did he do it? All those years? Love, Torres said simply. Everything he did was to create a better world for you and Sarah. Speaking of which, he slid a photo across the desk. This was taken last week at Chen Tower. The image showed Sarah entering the building. My heart stopped. They offered her a job, Torres explained. Legal department. David was terrified they tried to pull her in after he was gone. The pieces clicked together. David's insistence that Sarah study law on the other side of the country. His strange reaction when she mentioned wanting to work for the family business. I need to get her out, I said. Carefully, Torres warned. Any sudden moves will alert them. For now, go to Sunday dinner. Keep up appearances. We'll move when everything's in place. The Chen family mansion looked the same as always, a monument to wealth and power. Sarah was already there when I arrived, chatting with her cousins in the garden. Mom, she hugged me. Uncle James said you're finally coming back to family dinners. Over her shoulder, I saw James watching us from the terrace. His smile didn't reach his eyes. Mrs. Chen, my mother-in-law, Helen, approached. We've missed you. And Sarah tells us wonderful news. She's joining the company. Starting next month, Sarah beamed. Junior legal counsel. I forced a smile, hearing David's voice from his letter. They watch everyone. Dinner was torture. Every conversation felt loaded, every glance significant. Helen talked about David's dedication to the company. James mentioned how security was being upgraded at Chen Tower. Sarah excitedly discussed her new office, right next to the executive floor. They were drawing her in just as David had feared. My phone vibrated. A text from Torres. Evidence processed. Moving soon. Keep her close. Sarah, I said carefully, before you start at Chen Tower, maybe we could take a trip. Just us? Now, James cut in. With her new position starting. A graduation gift, I improvised. David and I had planned it before. Sarah's eyes softened. Oh, Mom, of course. Where? Paris, I said, thinking of the photo in David's office. Your father always wanted to take you. Later that night, Sarah came to my house. Mom, is everything okay? You seemed strange at dinner. I looked at my daughter, so brilliant, so much like her father. She deserved the truth, but the truth could kill her. Sarah, about the Chen Tower job. A crash interrupted me. Glass breaking. Heavy footsteps. Get down. I pulled her behind the kitchen counter as shots exploded through the windows. My phone rang. Torres. Mrs. Chen, they know. Get out now. I grabbed Sarah's hand and ran for the garage, bullets splintering wood around us. My daughter was screaming, confused, terrified. Mom, what's happening? Your father, I gasped, pushing her into the car. He left us something important. I'll explain everything, but right now we have to go. As we sped away, I saw James Chen standing in my driveway, phone to his ear. In the rearview mirror, my home, where David and I had raised our daughter, erupted in flames. Call Torres, I told Sarah, throwing my phone to her. Tell him we need extraction. Now. Mom, who's Torres? What's going on? Your father, my voice broke. He was a hero, Sarah. And now we have to finish what he started. As we drove into the night, leaving behind the burning remnants of our old life, I finally understood the weight David had carried. The constant fear, the necessary lies, the brutal choices. But he carried it for us, and now it was our turn to carry it for him. Mom, Sarah whispered, where are we going? I thought of David's letter, of the evidence he gathered, of the empire built on blood and lies that had killed him. To tell the truth, I said. Finally. Behind us, sirens wailed. Ahead, uncertainty waited. But for the first time since opening that safe, I felt something like peace. David had died protecting the truth. We would live to reveal it. The safe house Torres arranged was a small cabin in the mountains, 3 hours from our burning home. Sarah hadn't spoken since I'd explained everything during the drive. David's secret work, the family's crimes, the evidence that could destroy it all. All those Thursday nights, she finally said, watching the sunrise through bulletproof glass. I used to be mad at him for missing my school events. I touched a USB drive in my pocket, David's legacy, his sacrifice. He was there for what mattered most. Your graduation, your first legal competition. The Chen Foundation paid for my law school. Her voice cracked. Was that blood money too? Before I could answer, Torres arrived with 2 other agents. They carried laptops, surveillance equipment, and grim expressions. They've launched a media campaign, he reported, setting up equipment. According to the morning news, you and Sarah died in a tragic house fire. Gas leak, they're saying. Sarah's hands trembled. Grandma Helen is on TV, crying about losing us so soon after Dad. Classic misdirection, Torres explained. They're establishing their cover story while their cleanup crews search for you. My phone, a new, secure one Torres provided, buzzed with an alert. The news showed Helen Chen, tears streaming down her perfectly made-up face, standing in front of my burned-out house. First my beloved son, she sobbed to reporters, and now this terrible accident taking my daughter-in-law and granddaughter. Our family has suffered so much. Turn it off, Sarah snapped. I can't. I trusted them. All of them. Torres's team worked through the morning processing David's evidence. Sarah, with her legal training, helped analyze documents. I watched my daughter transform from a grieving, confused young woman into someone focused, determined, so much like her father. Look at this, she called around noon. Shipping manifests from Chen Industries. The numbers. They're not just money laundering. These are human trafficking routes. Your father tracked those for years, Torres confirmed. Women, children, forced labor, all hidden in legitimate cargo shipments. Sarah's face hardened. When do we move against them? Tomorrow. We have teams in position. Once we release this evidence. A phone rang, one of the secure lines. Torres answered, his expression darkening. They found Judge Martinez, he said after hanging up. The one David was working with. Dead in his garage. Suicide? I asked, already knowing the answer. Made to look like it. They're tying up loose ends. Sarah stood abruptly. We can't wait until tomorrow. Every hour we delay, they're destroying evidence, silencing witnesses. Sarah. They killed Dad. Her voice broke. They killed him and made me think it was just a heart attack. And now they're killing everyone else who knows the truth. I moved to hold her, but she pulled away, pacing the cabin. All those Sunday dinners, she continued. Grandpa teaching me to swim. Uncle James at my graduation. Was any of it real? The love was real, I said softly. That's what made it so dangerous. Your father knew they loved you, but he also knew that wouldn't stop them from using you. Torres's phone rang again. This time his face went white. They found Helen Chen, he reported. At the mansion. Dead. Grandma. Sarah whispered, but she was just on TV. Making her statement, establishing the cover story, then outliving her usefulness, Torres explained grimly. The organization is purging itself, eliminating anyone who might talk. I thought of Helen, my mother-in-law, for 25 years. She'd helped plan my wedding, held Sarah as a baby, hosted every family holiday. Had she known what her husband was doing? Had she made the same choices David had, but in the opposite direction? We moved tonight, Torres decided, before they can kill anyone else. The next few hours were a blur of preparation. Sarah worked with a legal team, her law degree finally serving its true purpose. I provided account details, passwords, everything I'd learned from being a Chen wife for 25 years. As dusk fell, Torres gathered everyone for a final briefing. But before he could start, all our phones buzzed simultaneously. Breaking news. James Chen, CEO of Chen Industries, has called an emergency press conference. We watched on the secure laptop as James took the podium, his face grave. Today, we discovered disturbing evidence of criminal activities within certain divisions of Chen Industries, he announced. As CEO, I am cooperating fully with authorities to expose and eliminate these elements. He's sacrificing the lower ranks, Sarah realized. Cutting off the branches to save the root. While protecting the core organization, Torres agreed. Classic containment strategy. On screen, James continued. While we mourn the tragic losses our family has suffered, my beloved Uncle Robert, Cousin David, and now June and Sarah, we remain committed to transparency and justice. Sarah stood, her father's determination blazing in her eyes. Release everything. Now. Sarah. All of it. The trafficking routes, the money trails, the murders. Everything Dad died protecting. Put it all online. Send it to every news outlet. Torres hesitated. The plan was to coordinate with. They killed my father, Sarah cut in. Made me think it was natural causes. Tried to kill Mom and me. Murdered Grandma when she was no longer useful. No more plans. No more waiting. Release it all. I touched David's photo in my wallet. Do it. Torres nodded to his team. Within minutes, 25 years of evidence began flooding the internet. Security camera footage, banking records, witness statements, everything David had gathered, everything he died protecting. On a laptop, we watched James's press conference implode as reporters' phones lit up with alerts. His controlled narrative crumbled in real time. The truth? Sarah whispered. Dad died for the truth. Hours later, as federal agents swarmed Chen Tower and news helicopters circled the mansion, Sarah and I stood at the cabin window. What happens now? She asked. We honor your father's sacrifice, I said. We rebuild. We tell his story. They'll never stop hunting us. No, I agreed, but we'll never stop fighting them either. Sarah touched the window, watching distant lights flicker in the valley below. Dad chose this path 15 years ago. Chose to fight instead of staying silent. He chose us, I corrected. Everything he did, every secret he kept, was to give you a better world. My daughter, no longer the innocent law graduate, but a warrior in her own right, nodded. Then let's make sure his choice wasn't wasted. Together, we watched the sun rise on a new day. Somewhere below, an empire was falling. A family was shattering. Truth was breaking through decades of lies. And David's spirit lived on in the daughter who would help finish what he started.